Hello, fight fans. Welcome to a very special virtual press conference. I'm Beto Duran, and truly excited to be joined by two of the most exciting boxers right now ahead of their highly anticipated welterweight Texas showdown, August 14th. Vergil Ortiz and Lithuania's Egis Mean Machine Kavaliauskas, live only on DAZN. This fight, presented by Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, will be for the WBO International Welterweight title. Epic matchup is going to take place at the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys. So don't miss it. All right, let's start it off by going to Frisco, Texas, as we'd like to welcome the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, the one and only Jerry Jones. Jerry?
Hello, I'm Jerry Jones. On behalf of the Dallas Cowboys, we're proud to welcome back Golden Boy Boxing to Ford Center at the Star for another historic event to be remembered. Texas has a rich boxing history, and alongside Golden Boy, we're delighted to deliver another world-class boxing at the same site that our Dallas Cowboys train here in Frisco, Texas. As undefeated welterweight phenomenon and fellow Texas Vergil Ortiz Jr. is showcased in the main event live at the state-of-the-art Ford Center. This event will take place on Saturday, August 14th, and will be streamed live on DAZN. Tickets will be available for purchase at SeatGeek.com. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the fight.
Thank you, Jerry. Can't wait to see that beautiful facility. Now it's time to speak to the legend, the one and only, the Golden Boy himself, Oscar De La Hoya. 17-0 is impressive, Oscar, but when they're all knockouts,
yeah,
you say that to somebody like, okay, that's cool. Then they see the highlights of Vergil Ortiz. The kid's a monster.
and it's against good opposition. Yeah. You know, as he continues to fight, his opposition gets better and better and better, and obviously it takes us to his next fight. Can he knock out
the Mean Machine,
the Mean
man.
Machine?
The Mean Machine. That's what I like about Vergil. When I met him, when you guys signed him, I remember you had a press conference at Cowboy Stadium.
Right.
This kid's going to be a world champion. You were high on him. Oscar, you don't praise young fighters that often. Why him?
You know, the confidence that he has in himself as well. When I mentioned that, he goes on the podium and says, one day I'm going to fill up Dallas Cowboy Stadium, having 0 fights. So it's the confidence level that really, I guess, entices me to continue to hype him up. And he keeps proving everybody wrong. I mean, he knocks this guy out, that guy out. His winning streak is the best one in the game today. I think sky's the limit for him.
Vergil's a fighter. He knocks people out. It's impressive.
Right.
But stopping Mauricio Herrera, nobody had done that.
Yeah.
Stopping Hooker in the manner that he did. And then he goes back to the corner, and instead of jumping on the ropes, celebrating, he's like, who's next?
Who's
Feed
next?
me. Love that about him.
Exactly. And I mean, just the fact that he's ready and willing to face Bud Crawford, it tells you everything. This kid is young. He has 17 fights. Yes, he's knocking everybody out, but you would think that he would want more experience. No, he wants them now. He wants the best now. So that's an attitude that is a champion in the making in my book.
You've said this about your career where you're like, okay, give me that guy, I'll
Right.
fight him. As a promoter, you want guys that want to fight, but there's a lot of fighters in the game today where, yeah, I'll fight him, but maybe that's not Vergil Ortiz.
No. It's not Vergil Ortiz, and there's I can't even, not even a handful of maybe 2 or 3 fighters that will really fight whoever you put in front of them. You know, and I've always said it, that when you fight the fighters that you're supposed to fight, when you're in these big events, you know, first you put the fight in front of you, then the business comes. But most of the time, the fighters think about, well, what type of business am I going to generate or make or this or that? No, get that fight done first, and the money will come. That's just the way it is.
And he's taking a guy in Egis whose nickname is Mean Machine.
Yeah.
This is not an easy fight. This is
not.
dangerous for such a young fighter.
It's a very dangerous fight. His only loss is against the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. I mean, Bud Crawford. And, you know, he actually hurt Bud Crawford in that fight. So He's a strong fighter, in your face. It calls for an exciting fight.
Virgil wins this, hypothetically. We're not getting too far ahead, but if he wins this, is a world title on the line for him?
I think so. I think so. But look, I'm going to continue beating this drum. Mark my words. If Virgil Ortiz gets past the Mean Machine, which we're hoping he does, but it's not easy. It's not guaranteed. But if he does, I guarantee you, any fighter, any fighter that just fights house fighters, meaning like a PBC or somebody like that, any fighter at welterweight, I guarantee you that those fighters are not going to want to fight Virgil Ortiz. That's how good he is.
Why wouldn't they?
Because he's dangerous. Because they know that they'll lose against him. He's young. He's strong. He's fast. He has that attitude of do or die. It's he throws combinations. He's learning. He's growing. He's a very dangerous fighter for anybody.
When he beat Hooker, he said, "I'll take on Spence. I'll take on Crawford." And what did people say? "Oh, you're not ready."
Sure.
Virgil's answer was like, "Okay, so I'm not ready. Who cares? I'll get in the ring."
I'll get in the ring. Sure.
What more do you want from a fighter?
It's the perfect excuse not to face Virgil. Oh, well, you only have 17 fights. No, it's okay. If he wants to step in the ring with you, then so be it. Don't be afraid. Just go in there. So one thing about Virgil is that we have to position him to be a mandatory, to be a world champion, so they can fight him. So they have no choice but to fight him. That's how dangerous Virgil is.
Is that the only way he'll get it?
Yes. And we have the game plan for him. Believe me, everybody will have to be forced to get in the ring with him.
Now, Virgil isn't a fighter who's promoting himself everywhere. He just wants to train, knock people out, and play his guitar, learn the piano, and just stay locked in. Old school, right? This is a kid who could have been in your era and different eras. He's special, isn't he?
He's a special fighter. And I strongly believe that, yes, the welterweight division is one of the deepest and strongest divisions out there in boxing today. But like I said, he's gonna have to not knock on doors, but bang them down and force them to fight him.
Is it too much for Virgil too soon?
No, not at all. The way Virgil is looking, the way he dismantled Hooker, the way he's been looking every single fight, he's getting better. His opposition is getting tougher, but he's proving to everyone that he has what it takes. So I think that, I can make the argument that maybe he is ready for a world title, but this is the fight that would determine whether he's ready or not.
How come I have a feeling if you weren't his promoter, you'd be one of his biggest fans?
I would be actually traveling all over the world watching him fight, beating that drum, because this kid has something special. I think that, I truly feel that he will beat any welterweight and maybe even junior welterweight out there in the world. And this kid is a big kid, so he's gonna definitely jump up to 160 at one point or the other.
Oscar De La Hoya, August 14th, Virgil Ortiz, Mean Machine in Texas. Now we're being joined by arguably two of the most exciting fighters in the world. The undefeated phenom from Grand Prairie, Texas, 17-0, all KOs, Virgil Ortiz Jr., and his opponent, the ever dangerous, only one loss, the Lithuanian, the Mean Machine. Virgil, you're 17-0. 17 KOs. It's been hard for you to find opponents that'll take you on. So when Ega signed, how'd you feel?
Well, first of all, I feel very excited. This is a fight that promises action. It promises war, and I'm happy to be part of it.
Now, Egas, for you, you know about Virgil. He's got the record. He knocks everybody out. You've been in there with the best. Why take this fight right now?
Because I never won easy fights. I always asking for some challenges for real fights. And Virgil, this is the guy who's he's a real fighter. He loves to be in the ring and loves to fight in the ring. So this is the fights I want to be in. And
that's why you're the Mean Machine. That's why you have fans after you, I guess, where they know that you're going to step up and take somebody. But there might have been somebody who would say, wait a minute, this young lion might be too much. What do you say to people who think that?
So it's not too much. It's never too much in the ring. It's always war. So how can you like consider somebody's too much or too less? Like you always take the fights you want to be in, and you're fighting the guys who like you consider they're on top. So you want those fights. I never want easy fights.
Oh,
That's for sure.
exactly. You never want easy fights. That's why fans like you. And Virgil, same thing with you. You don't want the easy fights. You want this. Sometimes people are telling you to slow down a little bit. Like, you've had other fighters say, oh, Virgil's good, but he's not ready for this. What do you say to those people?
Well, yeah, I mean, basically it's the same thing. I don't want the easy fights. I've said it in the past before, when you're playing the game, I just go straight to the main quest. I don't like doing the little side quests or anything like that. I don't like the filler fights. I want to get straight to the point. I want to fight the best that's out there, and that's what I'm doing.
You want to fight the best. See, that's why I like both of you guys. That's why when they announced this fight, I was like, oh, intriguing. Because you guys don't mess around with the salad or the appetizers. It's get in the ring and get after it. Egis, though, when you look at this young man, and you said, he wants that fight, what should we expect? What kind of fireworks are going to be there in Texas?
Oh, I think it's gonna be very good fight. I'm excited for this fight, and I think fans will love this fight because Virgil is the style who goes there and fights. He's like real old school Mexican fighter, and I like that style too. So like, I don't want to like in the ring. I just want to show everything what I got, what I prepare for, and I just want to show the war in the ring. So I think it'll be an interesting fight.
Virgil, did you watch his fight against Bud Crawford?
I did, yeah.
What'd you think?
I mean, honestly, it was a very entertaining fight, first of all. I liked watching that fight, and, he clipped him. He really did. He's arguably the only person to have knocked him down or even hurt him in a fight. But, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good, how do I say it? Like, on his resume, that makes him look good.
And Egis, credit for getting in there. Virgil said he watched it. But does that experience of going in, fighting for that belt, give you an advantage in this fight?
I think Virgil is a different type of fighter than Crawford. So it's yeah, some experience. Yeah, it was a good fight, fighting for the world title. It's still experience in my boxing career, but that's gonna be a different fight with Virgil.
And Virgil, people have said they've heard you, they've seen you. You said, I'll take on Errol Spence, I'll take on Bud Crawford, I'll take on anybody, anywhere. But you cannot be overlooking Mean Machine. You cannot take him lightly. What's the attitude in camp?
Oh, I mean, we treat every fight as if it's the hardest fight of my career, and I honestly do believe that this is going to be one of the hardest fights of my career. And, this is including my potential future fights in the future as well. We're taking this fight very seriously. We're in camp. We're training hard, 110%. And, we're not looking past anyone.
Virgil, you win this. Do you deserve a shot at a title?
I mean, I believe so. Hypothetically, I get the win and everything goes as planned. I feel like I should be able to – no one could say no to me.
And Egis, for you, you have a record 21-1-1. Your loss comes to Bud Crawford. You think people are maybe writing you off too soon?
No, I don't think so. I'm still there. I'm still fighting, and I'm getting in the ring. I'm putting the work done in the gym, and I will show in the ring what I'm capable for.
But why go and fight in this young man's backyard?
Why not? This is boxing. This is boxing. Like we're not taking, like, I'm not the guy who's taking like some easy fights and like be like very comfortable in the ring with like some other dudes. Like I wanna get there like to real fighters, fight the real fights.
And Virgil, you hear that answer. He's going to your backyard, not too far from where you're from, fighting at Cowboys facility. Everybody's on your side. How cool is that for you?
No, I mean, it feels great. This is my second time in a row fighting in Texas back at home. I definitely do have, that support behind me. And, it just fuels me even more, I'm going to do what I can do to impress the fans. And yeah.
And now this is a fight. Last one for me here. Normally you'll have guys who make up trash talk. Guys that go back and forth where, oh, you come find me, do this and that. A lot of talking, right? You two don't talk. You're going to go after it. It's kind of refreshing to have a promotion like this, isn't this, Egis? Where you know the guy's going to be there for you, you know you can find him, and let's sign it and let's get going on August 14th.
And I'm kind of that guy. I'm also probably like old school guy. I don't know. Like I don't like the trash talking. I like the fighting. I like do the trash talking probably like in the ring. Show me with my fist, with my skills, with my power. Like I'm not the trash talker. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're all class. Virgil, you got to respect that.
Of course, yeah, I'm exactly the same way.
Yeah, exactly the same way. Don't even try to get these two trash talking. Get your tickets August 14th in Texas. Virgil Ortiz Jr., undefeated, 17 KOs against the Mean Machine from Lithuania, Egis Kalviaskis. We'll see you August 14th. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks to everybody for watching, and don't forget to tune in August 14th globally, only on DAZN, as we continue to witness a new era in boxing as Virgil Ortiz puts his undefeated record on the line against the Mean Machine in a Texas shootout, live from the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas. For Jerry Jones and Oscar De La Hoya, I'm Beto Duran. Thanks for watching, everybody. Goodbye.